Paul Cox, that's a solid 3-1 win away at Stamford, and finally we can say the pre-season for Kettering Town is properly up and running now.
Yeah, look, without being disrespectful to the first two fixtures, that was a real competitive game. You know, I've known Graham a number of years. When he said, "Do you want a game?" knew what was going to happen. Really competitive fixture for us, and I learnt so much out of the game. Some real positives. I thought when we settled down after the first 10 or 12 minutes, I thought we took control of the ball. We opened little gaps up and played in between lines a few times and really looked very fluid going forward. Really pleased with that. Got players 50, 60 minutes in the legs, which we, in a competitive game. To be fair to Stamford, they come out and had a real good go at us, and it was probably it mirrored the first half in terms of them putting us on the back foot. We had to defend, which was really pleasing because it's a part of the shape, the pre-season where you've got to defend. We put some fresh legs on and changed the shape, and I think that really affected the game. And the pleasing part is, I think the average age of the side in the second half was about 19. So some fabulous kids. Empson's came in, Jack, right back, Gilesy, in midfield. It was really pleasing that how we went about the business. And yeah, it's still early doors, still a million and one things that that we can get better at. I really do, but we've got good players. If we add some extra quality to them, I think I think we'll be okay.
You started a very strong back three, and Stamford, as you say, came at us and got to hit the post and then scored from there. You must have been disappointed with how the game started, but then, in a bizarre cliche, that was what the game needed. Was actually, can Kettering come back for this? Yeah,
it was. I mean, the one thing we didn't want was a testimonial game. We wanted blood, guts and thunder. I think the fitness that we got from today's game was brilliant. And I'm being totally honest now, I'm not really worried about the scores in pre-season. What I have said to the boys is that winning becomes a habit, and that's 3 games on the bounce now, 1 goal conceded in 3 games. Now, these are all habits. We're going to have different tests as we move forward, but personally, I'm happy about where we're at because I know that really the squad isn't as strong as I want it to be. So, great competitive fixture, loads of pluses, a few little things we need to tweak, and we go on to our second game in. What would it be? We've got 3 and 6 now, so it'll be our second game in 3 days. So yeah, we're looking forward to the next one now.
Yeah, Corby will be another tough one, won't it? One other thing, apart from all the players and the movements, is your club captain. Any closer to working out who that could be? Because there's many people sticking their hand up now.
Look, I think that's a lovely problem to have, especially when we have got such a probably, as we say, a young squad at the minute. I've spoken to Conor Kennedy about it. We're playing Storey in a more central position now, and he's absolutely. I mean, in the 3 games he's played in there now, he's looked as though he's never played anywhere else. We've signed 1 or 2 good players that our supporters will know moving forward, and we look a nice balanced side. But going back to the captaincy, I personally had a chat with Conor. I don't mind talking about it in the press because the young man's got such broad shoulders, and I asked him, I'd like him to be captain next year, but I'm more concerned with his progression and him going to play at a high level, whether it'd affect his game. I got the response I knew I would, which is no. I'd be honoured to. Those 2 in there just bleed Kettering Town through and through. So, it's just nice that we've got so many that are stepping up to the mark and wanting to take the mantle.
Well, we look forward to that one being revealed. And just quickly, 2 final things. Just as you say, your opposite number, Gary, there after the final whistle, they got the whole hairdryer sitting around the centre circle at full time, getting all the the hairdryer treatment. As I say, it's not your style, is it? I can't ever see a Kettering Town or a Paul Cox side ever requiring that kind of treatment after a match.
I think my style is. I think I'm vocal on the touchline. I like to love my players. I think players understand when I'm not happy, but as people have seen after the game, I prefer dealing with players on a one-to-one basis and talking to them personally. Developing relationships with players is is what I think is one of my strengths. So, look, Graham will have his own way. Everyone has their own way. Graham's been very successful, around these levels at doing that, and that's not for me to talk. But I prefer to do everything in house, out the site. If anyone's going to get an arm around the shoulder, or was going to feel a little bit of the wrath of my anger, then it has to be done behind closed doors for me.
Yeah, just finally, on a much lighter note, a lot of the players now are wearing these black training bras and all the pedometers and all the kilometres they're going through. Never would happen to your day, would it?
No. I'd hate to see my GPS running, to be fair, when we was here under Peter Morris. But no, what we're trying to do, we're trying to. We know what we have got and what we haven't got. We're trying to be competitive with the likes of the Yorks, the Bostons, and the Files, and these people. The club's been brilliant in getting us these GPS. Everyone knows about the scouting system we put in place, which is absolutely unbelievable, and we'll go more into depth with it in the press as we go along. But the science part of the game has to come to this football club. Richie, the owner, is a massive advocate of it, as is the chairman, and the club has really pushed the boat out. It's probably money that we haven't got, but the science has to come into it now. We have to keep up with the Joneses, the science. My team, I've structured my team throughout the close season. They all know their job roles, the job specs to a T, and like I say, we'll try and move the club forward. It's been a tough 18 months to implement things, but now we're seeing a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. I just wish that COVID would probably do one, if I'm going to be honest. But like I've said,
you're not alone in that thinking.
No. But I think it's with us for the next 10 years, so we can either sit down and cry about it, or we can work and anticipate what's around the corner. Like I say, we've put procedures in place where the players have to do COVID tests before they come in. If they do, they don't come in. And the science, everything behind us is we're trying to be as professional as we can as a part-time football club.
Well, it was a good performance tonight, and go well on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.